What's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for some player props and spreads in the NBA for Saturday, April 24th. Man, oh man, a recap from Friday, 6-3 on the day, 61-32 over our past 2 weeks. But more importantly, Ja Morant, we finally cashed something for him. It's been 2 years coming, finally get his points, rebounds, and assist line right, and he cashes it with straight up points. That game was insane. Grizzlies with a big win. You look at the rest of our picks, and not to mention, Ja Morant was the last leg of our parlay of the day, plus 550 odds. You love to see that. Boom! And rest of our picks, we had Blazers, Grizzlies over, easily hit. Darius Garland over in rebounds and assists, easy. Both Baisley and Lou Dort's over in points, and then Rockets was our sixth one, including Ja Morant. Rockets plus 11.5. You love to see that. Our 3 losses come from Westbrook. Went absolutely crazy, scored a lot of points in his return to OKC. Not much you can do there. He finishes 1 assist shy of cashing our plus 250 same game parlay. Our other loss, Terry Rozier over rebounds and assists. I think it was 10.5. Man still cashes his assist line, so he probably still helped out a lot of you guys out there. And Steph Curry over 33.5 points. Not much I can do when he goes to the locker room 2 minutes into the game, basically misses the whole first quarter, still comes out, drops 32 points, finishes 2 points shy of hitting our over. If it was a closer game, he probably would have hit it. But we keep this momentum into today. Yesterday, I got to talk about it. I didn't even set a like goal, and you guys went absolutely wild. I set a like goal a couple days ago. You guys hit 380 likes. Yesterday, 480 likes. Insane. Keep clicking that like button. It really helps us grow the channel. And I can't ask for more. And asking for more, honestly, we're at 3,900 subscribers at this moment. I want to hit 4,000 by this weekend. So tell your grandma, tell your pets, pet snail, pet snake, pet dog, all of them, tell them all to subscribe. Last but not least, a recap of my Utah and Las Vegas trip will be posted today in a couple hours, around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Might even be posted by the time you're watching this. So if you want to show some support on that channel or on that video, it will be posted right after this one. Really appreciate it. It took a lot of time to edit it, but I think it's a really good video. It's much different from what we normally post, but it's still pretty cool. So check that out. Moving on into the picks. Let's keep this momentum. Starting out with an early game. So we have 2 early game picks. I will not be touching that Knicks versus Raptors game. That line smells -3.5. Won't touch that game. But we got 2 picks in the Bucks versus the Sixers game, which tips off at 3:45 Eastern Standard Time. If we get both of these 2 picks wrong, you can just speed through these 2. But we're starting with Giannis Antetokounmpo over 10.5 rebounds. I give credit to Reese in the Discord. And if you want to join the Discord, first link down below. Over 1,400 members at the moment. It's a lot of fun. We just talk about NBA, NHL. I even gave out an NHL winner at like plus 200 odds, the Sabres, last night. We're on a heater. We're going to keep going. If you want to join it, first link in the description down below. But credit to Reese for the Giannis over 10.5 rebounds. He called this out, I believe, Thursday when these 2 teams played. Giannis, 16 casual rebounds. But you look at Giannis's rebound numbers in his last 8 games versus the Philadelphia 76ers. 16 rebounds on Thursday, then 15, 17, 20, 14, 13, 16, 18. He absolutely kills it. 8-0 on his rebounding prop over these last 8 games against the Sixers. I like the odds, like the edge we got. Riding it tonight. I just want it to be a close game, and I think the Sixers will treat this as a playoff game, as will the Bucks. The Bucks will again give Giannis a lot of minutes, so long as the Sixers can keep this game close, and we should have Tobias Harris, and hopefully Joel Embiid is active tonight. I think Giannis gets the over 10.5 rebounds. Say less. His teammate, Drew Holiday, over 5.5 assists. And like I said, these are 2 picks in the early games. Hopefully you got them before the game started, but if not, you can fast forward for maybe 30, 40 more seconds. Drew Holiday, over 5.5 assists. You look at him, I normally don't bet 2 props in the same game, but I like what we got here. I normally avoid 2 props in the same game, although we did have Baisley and Lou Dort and Westbrook, so went against the norm, but you know, over the last 7 games where Drew Holiday and Giannis are both active, which they both will be active tonight, and that's been since March 29th because they haven't been active mostly in recent games, but last 7 games, Drew Holiday, a pedestrian 7-0 on this assist line, over 5.5 assists, like -122 value. But here are his last 7 games and his numbers in assists with Giannis. 11 assists last game against Philly on Thursday, 8, 7, 7, 10, 6, 7. He hasn't even gotten close to, he's barely hit the hook over, had 6 in 1 game, but 7 assists in 6 of his past 7 games with Giannis. Hit this over 5.5 assists in all 7 of them. I like what we got again tonight. He just had 5 assists or 11 assists against the same Sixers team. I like what we got. All we need is 6. I think he gets it done. Drew Holiday over 5.5 assists. Say less. And now, moving on to the Pelicans versus Spurs. You know who we're going with? not Zion Williamson, actually his teammate, Brandon Ingram, over 24.5 points. And here's why. Ingram and I, we've had our differences. And just like John Morant, we're gonna settle those tonight. We're not gonna dwell on those. We're gonna move past them. Brandon Ingram over 24.5 points. There's no denying that Brandon Ingram has played very well over the past couple weeks. Ever since he missed a couple games with injury, he's been absolutely going crazy. Ingram has cashed this over in back-to-back games and 6 of his past 7 games. And you look at the Pelicans, you look at the Spurs, both these teams fighting for a playoff spot. And I don't expect Stan Van Gundy to just sit around and say, you know what? I don't feel like playing Ingram a lot of minutes. I don't feel like playing Zion a lot of minutes. He's going to play them, and he's going to play them a lot, and I like the matchups they got. It's worth noting that in the 2 games this year against the Spurs, Brandon Ingram, 28 and 29 points in both of those 2 games. I don't think they really have someone that can match up that well against him. Maybe Keldon Johnson, who I think is playing today. But regardless, I'm taking Brandon Ingram over 24.5 points. I'm in. Hurt me good, Brandon. I'm ready. Moving on to a line that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Karl Anthony Towns, over 10.5 rebounds, sitting at plus 110 odds. It feels like a trap. And if Karl Anthony Towns ends with 7 rebounds today, I can just say, you know what, I played myself. But here's kind of why I'm looking at this. And as always, I preach, do your research and be confident in what you're betting on. But if you look at his career, Karl Anthony Towns versus Rudy Gobert, which both will be active tonight, although the Timberwolves are 13-point underdogs, which seems a little fishy to me. But Karl Anthony Towns and versus Rudy Gobert, 18 career games. Cat has finished with 11 plus rebounds in 13 of 18 games and 10 rebounds in 15 of 18. So, if he wants to end on the bad end of a hook, that's fine. But opposing centers tend to do pretty well against Gobert rebounding wise. It's not like they have to go outside of the paint. They just kind of camp out there. Just have to box him out. And, you're getting plus odds, plus 110 odds. I don't know. It seems a little fishy. I think Karl Anthony Towns has a good chance if this game can stay close. Taking us over 10.5 rebounds. I won't put that in the parlay of the day because I don't want to get hurt by it. I got 3 other picks for the parlay of the day that I think are much better, but it's not my most confident pick, but I think you get good odds. You got plus 110, over 10.5 rebounds. Say less. Taking it. Now we're moving on to one of our cashers, Rockets, plus 13.5 versus the Nuggets. We cashed the Rockets yesterday, and it's for the exact same rationale that we are back again today. And here's why. I'm hoping John Wall plays. Don't expect him to. But Vegas and the sportsbooks have been losing the shirt off of their backs against the Rockets bettors this year. If you've been betting against the Rockets, against the spread every single night, you probably could have retired by now. You're winning about 67% of your bets, which is absolutely insane. And Vegas will rig this game. They need that record to be better for the Rockets against the spread, and that's why they're going to have to rig the game. It's what they do, and we're taking it. Rockets plus 13.5. You look at the Nuggets, just got blown out by the Warriors. Rockets are bad. They're bad. There's no getting around it. I'm not going to say, Rockets are doing pretty well. No. They aren't good. But I think they can keep it close. Rockets plus 13.5. You're asking for a lot of points versus Nuggets team that has been struggling recently. We're taking it. Rockets plus 13.5. Say less. This is a Vegas rigged game. They're putting in the rig, putting in the fix. That's why we're taking it. Moving on to one of my final pick of the day, and then we got one lean in the early Knicks-Raptors game. Lakers plus 2 versus the Mavericks. Look at this. The Lakers had chances to win that game against Dallas when they played Thursday. They had chances to win. They only lost by 5, so they still had it. They were close, and Frank Vogel and the Lakers need this win today. Anthony Davis is obviously back, and I expect him to play better. If the Lakers looking for a guy that is going to shoot 2 for 10 like Anthony Davis did on Thursday, just hit your boy up. I can probably get you 2 buckets out of 10 shots. Not even going to cap on that. We're going in Lakers plus 2 versus the Mavericks. I think Anthony Davis will play better. Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. Doubt he plays just because they don't need to force him back into the lineup, especially with the playoffs approaching, and the Mavericks are sitting pretty in there. I think the Lakers bounce back, get a win tonight. We're taking Lakers plus 2 versus the Mavericks. Right before the parlay of the day, one of my leans, who knows if this will hit. I don't even know if I'll place it, but Pascal Siakam, under 7.5 rebounds. It's a sketchy one. I don't take many unders, but under 7.5 rebounds, and here's why. He's had against the Knicks earlier this season, Pascal Siakam and myself and you guys out there had the same amount of rebounds as he did. And he played like 30-plus minutes. The man put up a goose egg, 0 rebounds. And I think it's hard to rebound the ball against Julius Randle, who Pascal Siakam will be guarding tonight. And you look at it, Julius Randle has the ball in his hands, 25-7. He's always going to have it. And you're going to be outside on the perimeter and probably contesting every single one of his 20-plus shots. And that's why you probably don't end up with a lot of rebounds. But that one thing that makes me a little skeptical is that Chris Boucher is out, and I don't expect them to play a lot of Aaron Baines. Just don't expect it. They don't want that. So, I I could see maybe Pascal Siakam slide into the 5, and maybe that's where he picks up his rebounds. Just the lean. Do your research as always. Parlay of the day, Brandon Ingram over 24.5 points. Lakers +2 versus the Mavericks, and Giannis over 10.5 rebounds. Hopefully this leg, Giannis has not already failed by the time you're watching this video. If it has, then pick your favorite bet. I don't really know. Money line parlay of the day, not very confident in this one. Don't like a lot of the lines because I'm not including Nuggets and the Jazz, which if you want to know why, just check out my how to make a winning parlay. It's probably linked below. Refuse to bet on teams that are like 13-point favorites. Both crazy money line favorites. Useless. I'm going to put Bucks, Pelicans, and Lakers +380 odds. Take all those money lines. I think all three of those teams have a good chance of winning. Slate's not great for money line picks or spread picks. That's why I guess we got Lakers, which I do like the under in the Lakers-Mavericks game. The Mavericks do score less points with Kristaps out there. I think it's like 215. But recap of all the picks. I mean, I talked about, we got parlay of the day. Ingram over 24.5 points. Lakers +2. And Giannis over 10.5 rebounds. Rest of my picks, talked about that Pascal Siakam over 7.5 rebounds. Under 7.5 rebounds. Don't know if I'll play that, but like I said, we got Rockets +13.5 versus the Nuggets. Karl Anthony Towns over 10.5 rebounds. And Drew Holiday over 5.5 assists. Those are my favorite 6 plays of the day. As always, do that research. Thanks for all your support. Can we hit 500 likes this video? Don't think that's possible, but that would be wild if we did. Thanks again for all that you guys do for the channel and really appreciate it. This has been Austin. I will catch you guys again in tomorrow's video. Be sure if you're new or if you're a longtime subscriber, show some support on that Vegas video. It's going to be a good one. Should be posted in a couple hours. Really appreciate it. This has been Austin. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Peace.